Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is xlamfox, and today I wanted to help you guys out with a Cambrian drift hunting guide. The reason behind this guide is you have to catch a lot of animals for tokens and for sun reputation to turn in. So before we get started, I'm just going to give you a little heads up on my build, just to help you understand my reasoning here. I'm using a sniper rifle for accuracy. Try not to use like Ignis Wraith on your build here, because you'll wind up hitting the animals that you're trying to capture. Anyway, I'm using Ivara. I'm using Enemy Radar and Vigilante Pursuit for a good amount of radar on the map, just to see the people. And Ivara also has a passive 20-meter enemy radar. The reason why you use Ivara for hunting is because she has the Sleep Arrow Quiver, which puts almost anything to sleep instantly, and it lets you catch them very well. For the build here, I just have a good amount of duration and a very high amount of efficiency and a decent amount of range so that hopefully my arrows catch a large amount of targets. From a normal 10-20 minutes of hunting, you can get a good amount of tags, and there's a lot of reasons that you need these tags. So the first thing that I want to go over is I want to cover the map for you guys. The Cambrian Drift map spawns in a very specific way. And I think that if you understand the map, you'll understand hunting a little bit better and how to make things easy for yourself. So you'll notice here on my map I have all these blue pins. These pins are spawn locations. I used them before for necromech spawns, but I realized that every time you go to one of these pins, there will be a new spawn of enemies. So I figured the best thing to do is just fly in a big circle around, try to cover all these pins one at a time, and just loop around in circles like that and catch new enemy spawns. There are some other enemy spawns, but I just like this nice circular route where I cover all of these pins. You can take a second, copy this map if you need to. So let's go over the reason why you want to hunt. Mother has ranking up requirements where you have to turn in tags and you have to turn in sun tokens. The only way that you can get sun tokens and these tags is through hunting. Each time you capture an animal, you get one tag. So let's go over to the sun here and we'll see how you can get the sun tags. When you click the capture wildlife, you can actually turn in tags of creatures that you've hunted for sun tokens. Now this guide is just about flying around and catching easy to catch creatures for easy sun tokens. If you want to hunt the old-fashioned way, that's totally fine. You can break out your rifle, you can go to a brand new spawn, you can track the enemies, and you can catch them. This hunting technique is also really good because the first two options that Sun has let you make pets, and you actually need to catch the base versions of these pets before you can make them. So the Sun sells the ingredients here if you need them, but if you wanted to make a new pet, this guide is perfect for you too, because you will be able to catch these new guys that you're looking for. Some people might find this grind a little bit tedious. I think it's a little bit long. It's okay. It's not too bad. But a lot of people realize that for these tokens that you need, the tag tokens, the Sun actually now has a browse wares section. So over at the Sun, if you go to today's special, these tokens rotate, and you can actually just buy the tokens that you need for platinum, and usually they come in a good brick, maybe like 5 tokens for 15 or 20 platinum. So as we get started here, I am going to mention that you should be using the Xenier Bubble Dash to give you energy. I'm using the Iztal archwing so that you can stop on a dime and you turn invisible. The reason why I'm using this archwing is because it's very good to stop, and when you have momentum, when you try to dismount off your archwing, sometimes it takes a little while. But anyway, right now I'm just flying the loop, I'm checking through the pins, and I'm looking for, on my enemy radar, I'm looking for the red dots on my map, and I look at them, I identify them. If it's an enemy, I just kill it. If it's a pet, I take my time to try to capture it. The farm is basically this. You fly around in circles, you check the enemy radar, you see if you find anything. If you can identify things without shooting them, go ahead. Like if you take a glance over and you can tell that it's nothing you need, go ahead, that's fine, just leave. I just shoot things because I think it's a little bit quicker. You will find pets very consistently, usually at least one a minute. As you're going through this circular event, you will find wildlife very frequently. I'd say maybe 1 out of every 2, 3, 4 spawns is going to have wildlife present in it. So right here I got a Vulpaphyla. This one was already killed, but it didn't die, I guess, so that was a little bit lucky. The only problem with this farm, and why I use the sniper rifle to kill these enemies every time I see them, is because when these spawn sets happen, the enemies and the capturable pets spawn at the exact same time. It's pretty much like as soon as you come into range, and as soon as their spawn trigger happens, they start fighting each other. So this is another reason why I'm using the Iztal archwing. If you go invisible and they can't see you, the enemies will actually target the pets, and if you do this, it can make it very obvious where some pets are, where you might have thought there were none, or it might be kind of hard to identify. If you use the invisibility feature, it prevents you from getting knocked off the archwing a fair amount of the time, although it is kind of frustrating and it does happen a lot. You do get knocked off a lot. So I do recommend that you hotkey your archwing for this. Maybe just put it on like key 6 or something. But you fly around, check your minimap, like just always be looking in the upper left-hand corner, and then when you identify some things that you want to catch, just get out of archwing, use your sleep arrow, put them to sleep. On some of the larger packs, you'll start to notice that if you sleep these guys multiple times with your arrows, they become resistant, and then you are unable to catch them. If this happens to you, it's totally fine. Just pull out your tranq rifle, shoot as many shots as you can, as fast as you can. I think that the more shots that you put out in a very tight spread, the more likely you are to just put the enemies to sleep. So if you just repeat this process, fly around in circles, you'll notice that there are a lot of enemies out and around, and they do kill the guys very, very quickly. So, you know, this is why I'm using the sniper rifle, is because I don't want to shoot the pets. But what I do want is I want to be able to shoot the enemies that are attacking these guys, and I want to be able to do it quickly and accurately. And then when I want to catch them, I just use a sleep arrow, and then I hit X to pick them up. So I'm just going to show you a few more examples of this. You know, get in your archwing, capture your pet, get in your archwing, fly around, start looking, see if you can find anything. So this guy's actually a continuation from the last pack. They come in packs of 2, 3, sometimes 1 if they're some of the rarer ones. So if you find one just by itself, that's totally fine, you know, pick it up, grab it. This does happen sometimes too because the enemies will kill one of them or 2 of them before you can even react. It's very frustrating, and I do wish that they would just change it so that it's either pet spawns or enemy spawns, but the way they have it set up right now, the spawn rate is very, very fast if you just fly in circles. So I fly in circles, I just shoot the enemies. These little guys are going to be the bane of your existence because these blue things knock you out of your archwing, and it just happens all the time. So I'm just flying around, I'm waiting until I see some red dots on my minimap. I see the red dots, I check them out, I see if they're enemies. So this is an enemy, it's an enemy. You can kill them if you want. I usually start shooting right away because even if I do find a pack and there's enemies and pets, the enemies start attacking the pets and they start to kill them. So I always start shooting right away. But as long as you're flying around and you're making the rotations around the outer perimeter of the map, you will run into these pets, these capturable targets. You will run into them very frequently, you know, probably 1 a minute, 1 every 2 minutes. While you are flying around, one thing that you should be doing is occasionally just get out of your archwing, do a Xeniarch Void Dash, and get the little energy bubble going, and then you'll be charging up energy in your archwing. Using your second ability to stop does require energy, so you do need to keep your energy a little bit maintained. And when you see a guy, just stop, press E to dismount, and fire off an arrow, run over, and grab him. There is one thing I wanted to point out to you guys. You cannot use arrows on Velocipods. You can use arrows on Velocipods, but it doesn't actually allow you to catch them. You have to use your tranq rifle on Velocipods. So right here I'll just show you an example of this. Instead of using my tranq rifle, I can use a sleep arrow. I put this guy to sleep with the sleep arrow, and then when you go over to hit X, the X actually says ride, it does not say capture. So if you hit X, you get on top of them instead of capturing them. So whenever you come across Velocipods, just go ahead, pull out your tranq rifle. These guys actually take a couple of shots, so I just start shooting as fast as I can. Again, you know, just target them, keep tight spread, and just start shooting as many shots as you can. And then that way you should be able to catch them pretty quickly. So here's another Velocipod. He runs right by my face right here, and so I just pull out the tranq rifle, shoot 3 shots, he goes down. If you only shoot 1 shot, sometimes they don't go down, so just shoot all 3 of your shots. Anyway, that's pretty much it. This guide is intended for fast farming of creatures, and for using pack spawns to cause pets to spawn. If you want to hunt the old-fashioned way, go ahead, pull out your tranq rifle, find the blue points on the map, and just hunt the regular way. You know, use the echo lures and just hunt normally. The reason why I do this is it's fast, it's easy, and it gets you the sun tokens pretty easily, because a lot of the times you'll see a bounty and it'll be like 2 of this, 4 of this. So yeah, that's it. You know, thank you guys for checking it out.